And welcome in. I'm excited. I'm excited today because this is my first 4-day challenge, and I wanted to put the information together to really help some small business owners. I've been a small business owner now, I feel like all my life, from when I was a kid, selling readers' water eyes, cutting grass, to when I was adult, and I had real jobs, and when I was in college at Rutgers, driving inside of New York City, buying clothing and other items, coming back to campus and selling them, to the NFL, when I got involved in real estate, when I got involved in other type of companies, and also to when I finished with my NFL career and when I became a restaurateur. I learned so much throughout my career as an entrepreneur. Some of it was through school and through formal education, but most of it was through applying it in small businesses, and through owning, and through entrepreneurship, and through listening, and through masterminds, and through mentors, and through coaches. And all the information is available to us, but it's what we do once we have it. Because knowledge is extremely powerful, but knowledge alone won't get you there. You can understand something and you can know something, but if you don't apply that knowledge, if you don't do those things that you were taught, that you learned, that you read, nothing will change. And the part that I want you to really understand and want you to get out of this 4 days is to understand truly what a breakthrough is. And a breakthrough is a moment where you actually, start seeing things a little bit differently than you did at the past. So I want to give that to you. I want you to change how you're thinking. Because if you were like me, when you're starting out in a small business, no matter where you're at, you probably had some limited beliefs. You probably had some fear, some things that you told yourself that may not necessarily be the case any longer. So how do we start rethinking some of those things? How do we start unlearning what we've learned that may have protected us in the past, but now it's hindering us? Now it's holding us back. Now it's not letting us to grow, to get further, to get where we want to go to, because we keep on continuing those limited beliefs. We keep on continuing those fears. We keep on telling these stuff, these lies, these stories that no longer serve us. And I want to let you know two things. And this is probably unpopular, but I realize they're true. And these two things are this. It's like, one, your excuses are real. Like, your excuses are real. Yes, you didn't have that education that they have. Yes, your parents weren't rich. Yes, you are maybe in a challenging market. All those things are true. But what else is true, and this is more important, is that you can't have excuses and results at the same time. So I want you to raise your hand if you understand that fact. You can't have excuses. You can't tell yourself and continue to have those limited beliefs, continue to have those fears, continue to think what you thought before, and still have the results that you want. And here's the thing. Like, there's people out here that are living the life that you could live. And the only thing that separates you from them is for you showing up consistently, you doing the work, and you believing first in yourself and with yourself that you have the ability, that you have what it takes, that you are prepared and you are ready. And if you're not ready, then that's the thing. You're going on a journey of becoming ready. Because I'm not necessarily ready right now for what I want to be and who I want to become, but I'm on a journey, and I know it's going to take me to continuously leap, continue to learn, continue to grow, continue to fail, pick myself back up, and keep moving forward, because that's the only way I'm going to have success, if I challenge myself. So I just want to share with you all that nothing grows in your comfort zone. Nothing grows there, right? You need to constantly evolve, constantly grow, constantly change if you want to experience your best life. And if you're here today, think you're here because you want to experience your best life, because you want to grow, you want to succeed, you want that 7-figure business, you want that 3-week, 4-week, 2-month vacation where your business is still operating, and it's possible, but you have to put in the work. You have to lay the foundation. You have to do the early work early on. You have to create the compelling visions. You have to build the systems and tools. You have to select the right products, the right business models. You have to do all those things in order for it to work, but you can do it. And I think that's what I want to share with you throughout this business breakthrough 4-day challenge, that it is possible, that it has been done, and you are able and creative enough to actually get it done. But it's going to require you to put in some work. It's going to require you to have a coach. It's going to require you to really deep down inside and take what's out of your head and what's inside your heart, put it on paper, and start putting in processes and systems so that you can share with other people so that you could create some sort of accountability inside your organization. Oftentimes when I talk to small business owners, I'm telling them things like, I know. I'm like, but are you actually doing it? Because as a coach, I can say something over and over again and people can know it, but the fact that they're not doing it is a challenge. So how can someone help you out and help you get to where you want to go to in your life, in your business? All right. So hopefully that was helpful. And I just want to kind of paint the picture, manage your expectations on what you're going to expect in this 4 days. I mean, I've been preparing for this probably for the last 30 days, 45 days, writing notes, coming up with different scenarios that I could share with you that I think is going to be impactful, that I could be that powerful, that could give you that breakthrough moment. And I just look back at my life and how many things that I saw that I was like, aha. Like that aha moment is so powerful. And for me, it's happened more than once. And for me, it continues to happen because I continue to put myself in situations and opportunities where I could create that for myself. And I think that's really the mark of a truly successful person, is that they understand that they have to constantly relearn and constantly challenge what they've been doing so they can improve, so they can get better. So I want to honor you that you're here. It's day one of the 4-day business breakthrough challenge. And first of all, we want to gain clarity. And the importance of gaining clarity, I believe, is that so that everyone understands what it is and where are you going. And I think it's so important that when we set our sails, where we set our sights, where we put our ladders on a mountain, the most important part is that, like, is that the correct mountain? Is that truly what I want? Because in your mind, you may have gotten into business thinking that you want financial freedom, thinking that you want 7 figures, $1 million a year, 2 million, whatever that number is. But as you're sitting here today, like, is that still what you want? Or do you want more financial freedom? Or do you want more time freedom? And do you want more relationship freedom? And all those answers, I think you need to understand and you need to be clear on, because where there's clarity, there's power. When there's not clarity, there's confusion. So if you're not clear as a business owner, if you're confused, if you're jumbled, right, then so will be your organization. And one of the things that I live by is the speed of the leader determines the rate of the pack. So I want you to write that inside. The speed of the leader determines the rate of the pack. And I see it all the time, and you cannot be a 5, 6 as a leader and have an 8, 9, 10 as an organization. It doesn't work that way. You can't be a 4 or 5 and expect other people to kind of rise up in your organization. So you have to be the one that sets the temperature. You have to be the one that constantly challenges themselves and shows up, right, proud, and shows up excited, shows up really focused on what it is that you want to do. All right. So this is what I want you to do. This is what I want you to be able to create. And I want you to start looking at problems, not as problems, but as challenges and as opportunities. And I'm going to ask you a few things. What will happen inside of your business if you are 100% clear? If you start running from your problems, you start running from what could, what if, and you start actually mapping it out, writing it down, and actually putting on the plan for you to be successful. What will happen if you start to know your customers more deeply? And the products and services that you created weren't just for you, but were for the people that you served. And you were more interested in creating a powerful outcome for the people that you serve than it was for something that's gonna justify your name or something that's gonna make you look better. At the end of the day, it's not about us. It's about who we serve and how we can make them become better. Third question, how much could you meet their needs if you understood and appreciated what was going on with them? And it's really by simple questions that we can ask that we can truly understand, like, are we meeting the mark? Are we meeting the mark with our customers base, or are we just guessing? So we have to have that data, we have to have the information so that we can continue to create products, we can continue to create services, we continue to offer things that the marketplace actually wants. Because I'd always say, as a leader, you could tell if you're doing a good job if you turn around and people are actually following you. Like, when it gets scary is when you're a leader and when you're talking and you're barking and no one is paying attention to your orders. And then, oftentimes I hear, oh man, it's my team. It's not your team. If everyone's not listening, it's not a team issue. That's a you issue. So how do we get you more clear, more focused, and how will we get you to a situation where next year, this same time, that your business is a lot more powerful than it is right now? And it could be that way, but you're gonna have to be able to do that. You're gonna have to be able to provide that work, those systems, those opportunities to do that. So this is how this works. We had a Facebook group, 4-day challenge Facebook group, Business Breakthrough Challenge. We're gonna leave it in the chat. So there's a whole workbook in the group. There's a workbook that I want you to download because I think the most powerful way to do a challenge, the most powerful way to receive information is to actually go through and do the work when you're listening. Again, knowledge isn't enough. Is when you receive that knowledge, what you do with that information, that's extremely powerful. So day one, we're gonna talk about gaining clarity in your life, in your business. We're gonna put up a game plan. I'm a football coach at heart. I'm a football player. I love the game. I love what it's done for me, and I really love game planning. And I do the same thing with my small business owners. Look at their strategic plans and help them gain clarity. Day two, we're gonna talk about building your business foundation. We're gonna look at some business models and how you could choose the right business model, something that has a headwind, something that's gonna be trending in the future, something that you could potentially scale, something that you could gain more revenue, and you could really create once, create a system, create a process that you could do multiple times. Day three, we're gonna talk about establishing KPIs. And I love this part because if you can measure it, you can manage it. But what are you measuring inside your business? Because oftentimes we're not measuring the right thing. Or we're asking what are the averages, what is the average price of your product or your service? I don't know, I have it somewhere. Who is your typical clientele? It's typically male and female. No, you should. It's data. You have how many males you work with, how many females you work with, what are their ages, where they come from, what movies do they watch. Because when you get really clear about who you serve, when you get really clear about who you help, then you really double down, triple down on what you do. And I get it. So many of us think like, hey, but won't I scare people off? Won't if I really niche down and really start talking to this small group of people, like won't everyone else stop doing business with me? One, not necessarily, but two, those that shouldn't do business with you shouldn't do business with you. So if you're really clear and really focused on what it is and how you help people, then those people should do business with you. I can't tell you how many times I talk to business owners and they just say, hey, we're not a good fit. So when I get on the phone with someone, I do a business breakthrough call and we're looking at their business and look at the metrics in their business, look what you're trying to do. Sometimes I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna be honest with you, like you're not in a position to execute on what it is that you need to do to become a champ CEO. To put your system almost as a franchise. You're not ready for that. But I could just hear it in your voice. I could just hear it with your excuses. I could hear it everything else, that you're not going to be able to take accountability. And you should do the same thing inside your business, because I'm going to tell you, I've done it before where I was in situations where I need to take the cash and I took people in where they shouldn't have been in, and they drive you crazy. They drive you crazy. And for me, I don't know about for you, but all money isn't good money. And if that's the case, then some of those people you just have to let go. And you could do that a lot by really narrowing down and really communicating what it is you do, who it is that you help, and who it is you don't help. And I think what happens is you create clarity on the people and your customers, on who you serve, and the other people should be repelled and they should feel like, ew, yuck, I don't want to deal with that person. And that's fantastic for you, because that's going to alleviate a headache. Stick with us, because day 4, I'm really going to teach you some strategies, some 2022 strategies that's really going to help grow, scale your business. We're going to be talking about automations. We're going to be talking about bulking your social media posts. Show of hands, how many people love social media? How many people love creating videos? How many people love creating graphics? Or how many people just struggle at it? They just hate it. And I think so many of us have this love-hate relationship with social media. And now that these platforms are getting more mature, Facebook, Instagram, we're like, oh, it's the algorithm. No, these are businesses, and they want you to operate as a business. So what are you doing inside your business to communicate your message? Or do you have a paid ad strategy? Do you have a lead generation strategy? If not, what can you do to kind of get there? So I hope this makes sense for you. That's what we're going to do in these next 4 days. I'm extremely excited, extremely excited. And again, I'm going to talk to you about what is a breakthrough. And a breakthrough is a moment when something happens, a decision, an insight, a truth, an understanding, our experience, and life is never the same again. Life is never the same again. And for me, that occurred multiple times in my life. Like once you see something or once you experience something, you can never unsee it. You can never unexperience it. And for me, it happened again so many times. I'm gonna just show you one illustration where it was just like, wow, I didn't think it was possible. And I can remember it was in college, so I'm gonna date myself a little bit. I know I probably look like I'm 30, 31, but I'm climbing up there, right? So in 1998, I went to college. So about year 2000, Y2K, I had a class, and it was marketing class. And I read this book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it was probably the very first book I read from start to finish that I read, right? I had college, I had other books I had to read in high school, stuff like that, right? But your boy was an athlete, so I figured out ways to kind of get stuff done, if you know what I'm talking about. But when I started taking ownership and started doing things myself, I'm like, man, I really need this information. Like, I'm tripping. Like, what am I doing outsourcing this information? Like, I want it out. I need this. So when on that information, what it was this one picture. And this picture was a picture of a woman. And in the picture of the woman, you could see 2 things, right? You could see an old woman and a young woman. So let me see a show of hands if you see the old woman and the young woman. How many of you guys see the old woman and the young woman at the same time? It's crazy, right? So the young woman, if you see, like, her nose is right here, her eyelashes are right here, her hair is right here, and she's looking to her right. She's looking to her right. This is her neckline, if you will. All right? This is her hat, if you will. This is her ear on, again, the young woman. But in the same picture, right? The same picture, paradigm shift. There's an old woman. There's an old woman, right? So the old woman, right? This is not her neckline. This is her mouth, right? This is not her ear. This is her eye. This is not her chin. This is her nose, all right? And this is her other eye. So show of hands if you see both the old woman and the young woman. And if you're anything like me, like I was surprised when I first saw this. And what this done for me was tell me that there could be 2 things happening at the same time. There could be 2 things happening at the same time. And as business owners, we have to realize that, hey, we need to be focusing today on our current business, but also looking at our future business and what we want that to look like. So today we should be worried about and focused on our current life, and 2, worrying about our future life and what we want that to look like. And for me, and I don't want to get on a tangent, but talking about fitness and health, like I've made a commitment to my fitness and health. I'm in the probably some of the best shape of my life. Not saying in my life, but I'm in good shape. I'm 220, 215. The boy wearing like a size 32, right? 32 pants, right? 34 still a little bit baggy. But like, yo, I was a 38 in high school, right? So I'm really figuring out what it is that I need to do in my life and my business. And I think once I realized, like, yo, I can't live separate. I can't live this separate life where I'm doing really good in my life and I'm doing great with my physical fitness, but I'm lazy in my business and I'm not showing up to business the same way. Or I'm doing really great in my business and I'm booming and everything's wonderful, but my relationships are trash and I'm not invested in the people that I love. So I believe that as a champion, right, in life and business, that you could be a champion in every area of your life, right? You could be a champion in your fitness. You could be a champion in your relationships. You could be a champion in your business and career. You could be a champion in your finance, and you could be a champion in your spirituality. But it doesn't happen by chance. It happens by us being intentional. It happens by us really realizing what it is that we want and really focusing in on how it is that we get there. So when we're talking about day 1 and we're talking about really understanding and we're talking about really utilizing a tool to really get us going on how do we gain clarity in our life. I want to talk to you all about something that I created, and it's called the CHAMP framework. And the CHAMP framework was like a framework that I created because oftentimes we deal with the same thing over and over again. And when we deal with something over and over again, it's like we start from the beginning. We start fresh. But how people are effective, how leaders, how millionaires, how these CEOs, these large companies, how they get work done is they start with frameworks. They start with understandings or what's true to themselves. Where are their value systems at? Where do they lie? What's their mission? All these things are already laid out. So then questions become very clear and answers become immediate. And people are like, how did you answer so quick? Oh, I know who I am. I know who I ain't. I know what that looks like. I don't have to guess. I don't even like now. I used to be like have the like FOMO, the fear of missing out, like on a party, on an opportunity, or anything. And I just yes. But the problem is, and what will happen, and the same thing happens in your house, like I would run out of yeses. I would run out of yeses, meaning that we all have this finite amount of time, and I would run out of yeses because I gave too many yeses. So when that new opportunity came, I couldn't say yes because I gave a yes already. And some of the things I said yes to, I really didn't even want to do. I really didn't even want to go, but I just said yes because I didn't understand who I was. And I was searching for that. And I was trying to be what someone else wanted me to be. I was trying to be what I thought I should be. But it wasn't until I started being who I am and I started to be authentic to me, when I started to be true to myself, to my values, what it is that I want out of life, one had peace, right? One had like fulfillment, but also like I had a bank of yeses now. So now in my life, everything is a no until it's a yes. Everything is a no until it's a yes. And I don't want to be a yes. I want it to be a hell yes. I want to be like, yeah, I'm excited. Let's go. I've been thinking about this. So how do you do that in your life and create this system, to create this inventory on what it is that you want to do out of life, what it is you want to get out of life? And I'm going to give you this, again, this workbook is in the huddle, and we're going to leave a comment. Jennifer, if you could leave this in this section and let them know exactly how they get this stuff, because this is going to be powerful for you, understanding the CHAMP framework. So the CHAMP framework, this is how it is, right? So I created this, and it's explained. And C, inside the CHAMP framework, the C stands for understanding your current situation. So understanding your current situation and where you're currently at. And again, we talked about the 7 different pillars of your life. We talked about the 7 different pillars. So I want to talk to you about the 7 pillars and where you're at inside these pillars. And the breakthrough is for your life and your business. So when we're looking at these situations, we're going to fill this out. It's going to be homework. I feel like I'm a teacher, right? When I was younger, I used to hate homework, like, homework. But now it's just like, I want homework because I want transformation. I want to apply what I've learned because I don't just want to be knowledgeable. I want to be powerful. And you become powerful when you get that knowledge and then when you apply that knowledge. So I want you to become powerful, and I want you to, again, go to that 4-day challenge and create the workbook or raise your hand, and somehow we'll get it to you because this is where the magic is going to happen. So if we're looking at our current situations in our life, we're looking at what is my current weight? If you're looking at your fitness and your health, like when's the last time you've been to the doctor? When's the last time you have been weighed? What does that look like? Look at, if you're in your business, what is your marketing strategy? Or more importantly, do you have a marketing strategy? How's it working for you? Is it working for you? What does that look like? Are you on target to meet your goals? What kind of organization do you have? What kind of philosophies do you have? What kind of vision do you have? What kind of mission do you have? What do you have a statement for your life? Do you have current values? All these things are critical because if we're in a car and we have a destination that we want to go to, the first thing that our phone's going to ask us when we plug it in, the first thing it's going to say, all right, this is where I want to go. We probably all have dreams, all have aspirations. Raise your hands, share your dreams inside the chat so we can encourage one another. So we all have these dreams. We all have these ideals of what it is we want to do, what kind of homes we want to live in, what kind of body we want, what kind of relationship we want, what kind of trips we want to travel to. I know I have like the 7 wonders of the world is on my list. I've been to one. I'm getting to a wonder this year after season. I promise you. But that's on my list, right? That's on a board in my home, and I want to get there. But the first thing they're gonna ask us before we get to our desired destination is where are we currently at? What is our current location? And the challenge is, the problem is that so many of us, right, aren't real about our current locations. So many of us aren't really measuring things properly. So when we ask our current location, we're guesstimating. It's around about, I guess, no, we need to know exact. Where currently are you at? Because this is precise. I want to be precise. I want to get you from here to there in the fastest way possible. All right? Show of hands, how many people want to get to their desired destination the fastest way possible? How many people just want to get like from here to there in the fastest way possible? Or do you want to take detours? Or do you want to get stuck in traffic? No, not at all, right? You want to go the fastest way possible. So that's how you want to get there. You first got to understand your current situation. So on the homework, I want your current situation to really figure out your business. Where are you currently at? What are your finances? What are your employee count? What things are you doing marketing? How does that work? And if we do these things effectively, then we can really begin to look at what our desired destination is, which is number 2 inside of the CHAMP framework, is you have to hone in on your desired destination. Now that you understand where you're at, now that you understand your starting point, now that you understand where you have to go from, then now, guess what? Now you can paint the picture, the vision of your desired destination. Where is it that you would like to go? What does it look like? What does it smell like? What are the colors? How does it make you feel? Is the air thin, right? Is it hot? Is it warm? Because the clearer, the more specific we can create that desired destination on where it is that we want to go, the quicker, the closer we're going to be able to get there. All right? So once we put in our mind, because our mind is like a GPS, where it is that we want to go, what we want it to look like, right, in our companies, in our lives, the easier it's going to be for us to reverse engineer how did we get there. If for our income, if we want that to be $1 million a year, then we could do math. All right, $1 million a year divided by 12 is how much a month? All right, it's how much a week? It's how much a day? All right, I serve these products or services. Okay, my product or service is $50. How many of them do I have to sell to gross that? All right, how many do I have to sell to net that? So we can start doing math once we understand and once we write down and hone in our desired destination. What do we want our life to look like? I've learned in life that the great people in life, they just don't let life happen to them. They actually design their lives. They actually curate their lives. They actually like have a brush that's wet and they actually brush strokes. And if they don't like something, guess what? They could change that brush stroke. But what they never do, and what I see so many people do too oftentimes, if they get someone else to brush. Say, hey, you paint my life. You tell me what it should look like. How? How can they tell you what it should look like when they don't have your skill sets? When they haven't had your dreams? They don't know what your heart desires is. They don't know exactly what you should be doing. And we gotta stop outsourcing our dreams. We gotta stop outsourcing what it is that we should do. Like we should outsourcing yeses from other people else to feel like, all right, now I can do it because they told me yes. They don't need to tell you yes, right? Your friends don't have to support you. That's not a prerequisite. Right? There's plenty of strangers that would love to support you if you're good, if you're adding value, if you understand what they're needing, you're providing them outcome. There's people out there that would love to support you. So stop waiting for someone else to give you a yes. Start creating your own future. Start painting a picture in your life on where it is that you want to do. I tell my kids all the time when we're creating a workshop tomorrow in my office. A part of what I do, in addition to business coaching, speaking, and creating workshops. So in this workshop environment, I tell the picture of an organization and of vision. And I tell the story of how when I would travel a lot, when my kids were younger and they didn't have sports every weekend. I don't know how many people of you have kids. My kids are 13. Gabrielle, she's about 5'8", so she's gonna be taller than me soon. She's a volleyball player, beautiful young girl, borderline genius. I have a boy who is 10, Gary Lawrence. He's a boy, right? So he just loves life. He's not real particular about anything, but he might be the sweetest boy that I know. He is the honest. He's like loving. And then I have Georgia. And Georgia is my 3-year-old. She is dramatic. She's not 3-year-old. She's my third child. She's 8. But she's like a model. She's probably be a TikTok star. So the personalities are amazing. But when they were younger, and I traveled, I used to get them maps of where I went. And we would come home, put the map together, talk to them where I went, what I did, how we experienced it. And it was awesome. It was awesome when they kind of see that, kind of had that experience. Now they got to a certain age, like, yo, Dad, I got games this weekend. Like, I don't care about this little map, right? Just make sure you're here. Just make sure you're at my game. And I get it, right? So now that's why I do more things that are local. I do more coaching online. So I'm very excited about this modern technology that allows us to come on and reach people from not just around your area, but really globally. But I would give them the maps. And when we would have the maps, when we would have the box of the map, and on the back of the box, they would have a picture of where we wanted to go. So it'd be a map, it'd be the back of the box with the picture. So we would do the puzzle, right? And we know the edge pieces, right? We know that they're flat, that's flat, okay, that's the top edge. We can figure it out. We're looking at the box, and it was clear, and it was relatively easy to put these puzzles together. So then what would happen though, what would occur is over time, and if you got young kids, you can attest to this, the boxes will get destroyed. The boxes will get dismantled. So there was no box. There was no box. So maybe out of memory, we can figure out where exactly we wanted to go. We did it before, but it might take a little bit longer because we don't have the vision. We don't have that map. We don't have that desired destination on what this thing should look like. But then what will happen? Eventually over time, the puzzles would get left out on the table. They would eat, they would get wet. The colors start ripping off. So now you don't have the box. So you don't have the clear vision on what it is that you want to go or where you want to go or what it looks like, what it smells like. You don't even have the colors on the puzzles anymore because they've been ripped off. So now it's just that brown manila thing that's on puzzles. And now you have to figure out how you put this together. And you're almost guessing. And sometimes you guess right, but it just takes so much time because if you're anything like me, you're trying to force pieces in there that don't really fit, but you're gonna make it fit, right? But it doesn't fit. Get it? You're done. You lost. But I'm gonna make this fit, right? But it would just take so much time. And if you think about our lives, it's the exact same way. When we don't have a clear vision, when we don't have a desired destination, where it is we want to go, when we're not focused, when we're not detailed, when we're not specific on what that looks like, we're just sitting there trying to figure out how we put pieces in where they don't belong. And that piece may be a relationship that we try to force in that doesn't belong. That piece may be a business partner that we're just trying to force in that doesn't belong. That piece may be an employee that we're just, it may fit, right? No, it doesn't belong. It may be a contract that we have that doesn't. It may be a product or service that we offer that doesn't belong. Whatever that thing is, it doesn't belong. It does not fit. And it doesn't fit, right? All it's gonna do is cause you confusion and cause you frustration. So that's why it's important that we need to really figure out where we're going, right? We figure out C, current situation, where we are. H is figure out how do we hone in our desired destination where we're going to go. Now, once we get there, now after we get the H and we know exactly where we want to go, we want to apply the 80-20 principle. The 80-20 principle, right? So the 80-20 principle was created by this gentleman named Pareto. It's called the Pareto principles. And he realized, I think it was in Europe, that 80% of the land was owned by 20% of the people. And in business, they say that 80% of our profit is from 20% of our customers. In our lives, it states that 20% of our activities yield 80% of our results. So if that's the case, if 20% of our activities, 20% of the things that you do on your day-to-day basis yields 80% of the results, what should you find for? Like, if this was math, what do you need to know if 20, you need to know what that 20% is. Like, what is that common denominator? What does that look like? Because if that 20% yields 80% results, I need to figure that out. I need to know what it is that I do on a consistent basis that's gonna help me get to my desired destination. And if I do those things, if I don't get bored, if I'm consistent, if I'm reliable, if I'm disciplined, if I do those things over and over again, then guess what? I'm gonna get to my destination a lot faster. I'm not gonna have a lot of detours. But we have to figure out and solve for that 20%. And this is how I get that done. So I use a model called the EAD model to solve for that 20%. And how that works is I create a triangle, if that works. Oh, my pencil, it was just working. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna connect it. Bear with me. Bear with me. All right, 100%. You guys see it. All right. You don't want to paint? Man. All right, let's go out. All right, so I'm gonna work on this, but I'm gonna tell you what it is. So the EAD model, right, states that you're gonna make a triangle, which I tried to do. You're gonna make a triangle, and inside the triangle, on the top of the triangle, what you're gonna put is the E. So you're gonna create a to-do list. You'll create everything that you need to get accomplished, and then you're gonna figure out a couple things. One, you're gonna figure out what can you eliminate. What on the list of things that you do can you currently eliminate because it no longer serves you? What does that look like? What does that look like? What on your to-do list that are you currently doing that is not getting you closer to your desired destination? What are you currently doing that does not set you up for success? What are you currently doing that's causing confusion? What are you currently doing that's keeping you behind? What are you currently doing that has you stuck? What does that look like? What are you currently doing that has you in that situation? Because if we understand what those things are, right, what we could do with those situations is we can eliminate them. So these are the things that we should no longer do anymore. We can eliminate, cut them off, sayonara, goodbye, I'm sorry, you gotta go, right? Those things we can eliminate. And then what else can we do? All right, so after we eliminated those things, now we figure out what other things are on our to-do list. What other things can we buy back our time? See, wealthy people understand it's not about financial freedom, it's about time freedom. It's about time freedom. You could get money back. You can't get any more time. You could create more money. You can't create more time. So how do you create more time in your life? First, by eliminating things. Next up, right here, we automate. We automate, right? Technology is a beautiful thing. You got to accept it. You have to adopt it. You can use technology. You can automate your groceries. You can automate your meals. You can automate your bills. You can automate your payroll. You automate delivery where things hit a certain par or a certain level in your company. You can automatically reorder things, right? You can already have those things predetermined and you can get those things automated. And then after you automate them, the last thing you need to do, right? And this is what a lot of people struggle with, is you can delegate it. You can delegate it. So you can either eliminate it, you can automate it, or you can delegate it. I'm gonna be honest, like I probably, like a lot of you, right? A-type, CEO, running a company, and you know, when I was young and when I was starting off, I would just be like, man, no one's gonna do it like me. Don't worry about it, I'll do it myself. Oh, no, don't worry about it, I'll do it myself. Don't worry about doing it. Then your pile of lists gets so huge because you constantly want to do things yourself. And you shouldn't be doing that, right? You should not want to do things by yourself. You should want to figure out a way that you grow. Figure out a way that you expand. See, the biggest lie ever told is that as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, that we all get 24 hours, right? That's not the case. That's not the case, right? I get 24 hours, but guess what I could do as a business owner, right? Say I get 24 hours and say I could work 8 hours a day, right? Or maybe I'm ambitious. Maybe I want to work 12 hours a day, right? 12 hours. But guess what? I can hire somebody and I can pay them and I can get them to work 8 hours for me. And then you could hire someone else and get them to work 8 hours for you. And then you could hire someone else and get them to work 8 hours for you. And if you understand opportunity costs, if you understand how you can utilize your time, how you can utilize your expertise and always work in your highest and best use, then you could develop people, you could automate systems, you could delegate tasks, set up the right processes, the right systems, so that you can help other people get to where you want to go. All right, I'm going to keep going. I got 40 minutes left. We got a lot still to cover. So next, what do? Next, after you apply the 80-20 principle, next up we got to take massive action, right? We got to take massive, consistent actions. Not just action when we feel like it, not just action when the conditions are ideal, not just actions when it looks promising or it looks like we're gonna win or we're not gonna face any resistance. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about massive action. I'm talking about when times are tough, when you're gonna experience resistance, when you gotta push through, when you gotta go one more time. I'm talking about taking action because that's the only way we're gonna do that. Embracing failure. Even though it's not perfect, you're launching it. You're doing it. And when we do that, when we're consistent, when we show up, when we take massive action, good things start to happen. Good things start to happen because guess what? We get more bites at the apple. We get more opportunity. We get more chances. When I played baseball, I wanted to get up the bat as many times as possible. So every time I got out the bat, it was an opportunity for me to get hit. It was for me to get on base. So I wasn't shy, right? I wasn't in there waiting for my perfect pitch. I was in there like, hey, I don't need to hit a home run. I just need to get on base, right? I just need to get on base. And then I switched my swing from a home run where I was like tomahawking everything or I was swinging up for the fences where I just like, you know what? How about if I hit this thing powerful, strong, down line drive? I'm almost guaranteed to get on base. I'm almost guaranteed to get on base. And oh yeah, by a byproduct of that, I actually hit more home runs. Isn't that crazy? Like I changed my swing, wasn't swinging for the fist, nice solid swing, eye on the ball, and I hit more home runs because I was consistent. Because I showed up. Because my mindset was just getting a hit, getting on base. So we gotta eliminate, we gotta stop thinking about everything. We gotta wait till it's perfect so we can hit a home run. And we just have to get on base. We just have to take massive, consistent action. All right, so I hope you guys take that. I hope you guys apply that inside your lives, inside your business. So next up, after we do all those things, and this is where I'm at, is like we take full accountability, we raise our standards, we multiply our efforts, and that P stands for the pursuit of the championship transformation. The pursuit of the championship transformation. Like I want to be the very best version of myself. I'm chasing the best version of myself. I saw somewhere in a book that I read recently, it said the definition of hell is meeting the person that you should have become. Wow. The definition of hell is getting there and you have no more life to live, and then you see on your deathbed walks in the person that you should have become. And their shoulders are a little bit more chiseled. Their face is a little bit more clear, right? They got a six pack, right? Their teeth are straight and clean. And this person, right, that you see, you're capable of becoming. But because you didn't raise your standards, because you didn't pursue the championship transformation, because you stopped along the destination, because you quit, you're never gonna meet that person. And I understand the person that I want to meet, the person that I'm chasing, maybe I won't ever meet him. But my goal is that I'm close. My goal is that when I meet that person, my goal is when I see that individual, I'm like, yo, I kind of favor you. I kind of know who you are. Like I see the resemblance. I see the shoulders are the same, right? My stomach probably won't be the same. He might have a six pack. I like to drink some adult beverages. Don't judge me, right? But maybe my butt is a little bit bigger. But guess what? Everything else looks good. My skin looks good. I'm happiness. I got fullness in my heart. There's people that I love and that I share my life with that are surrounding me. Because I chase the very best of myself. Because I raised my standards. Because I didn't quit. Because I didn't be ashamed because of what happened in my life. And I didn't let someone else write my story. And I didn't give up my power by giving up my pen. and let someone else create my life. And then let someone else design what I should have become and what I should be in my life because I chased. And I think if you do that too, and these 5 things, write down your current situation, hone in on your desired destination, apply the 80-20 principle, take massive, massive action in the pursuit of championship transformation. I think those things will set you up for success in your business, in your life. But again, you got to be real with yourself, and you got to be able to gain clarity in your business on what it is that you want to do. That what is required of you to go to the next level. How do you get that done? What do you do for yourself? How is this something that you can create for yourself? And the crazy thing is, what I've learned is that all these things are possible. Like if you weren't able to do these things, like the Lord wouldn't have found, like he wouldn't have placed these things inside of your heart. He wouldn't have did these things inside of your life if you weren't capable. But the fact that you're capable, the fact that you have a mind, the fact that you have time, the fact that you have ability to raise your standards, you have the ability to take an inventory of where you're currently at in your life, to see what your skills are, what type of value you add, what your customer is actually needing, where's that gap at, and where can you increase your value and compete not on price but on value and on outcomes. Then you can start to control your own destiny, and you can start to get your business, your life on track, and have the breakthrough that you need. And your breakthrough may not just be financial, right? It's great to have a bunch of money. Your breakthrough may be freedom. Your breakthrough may be fulfillment. Your breakthrough may be peace. But whatever it is for you, right, that's your breakthrough. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to tell you what your breakthrough can be. Because guess what? I don't want you telling me mine. Because I'm not giving up my pen. And I don't want you to give up your pen either. So I hope this was helpful for you. I hope you were able to gain some type of understanding on how clear you need to be in order to be successful. How one, breakthroughs are possible. So they happen every single day. They happen every single day when someone has a breakthrough and someone says, today is today. Enough is enough. I'm not that person anymore. I'm going to increase my life. I'm going to raise my standard. I'm going to stop allowing this to happen. I'm removing myself from this situation. I am firing that person. I'm no longer like having this product. Well, whatever that is for you, that breakthrough is possible. And it only takes you to have the courage to kind of see it through. But then after you get that done, mapping out your desired destination, where it is you want to go, looking at that 80-20 principle, being real and honest about what things that you're currently doing, writing them down. Again, if we can measure them, we can manage them. And then looking at what we can eliminate, what we can automate, and what we can delegate. And then we can create the system to delegate, right? And if you need help, that I'm here. I could be a business coach. I could be an ally for you in your journey. And next up, we take massive action. We're consistent on what we do. We follow through. We follow up. And when we get these processes going, I know sometimes we look at successful people and we think like, oh man, it's because they grew up here, or it's because they're doing this. No, you have that ability. It is the science of achievement. It's the science of achievement. Like it's science on how to be successful. Doing these things consistently, providing value over and over again, taking massive action, you can become successful, right? It's not this elusive thing, right? And especially in today's time, in today's environment, it is the most economic, opportunistic opportunities that are available now that never were created. There's 16-year-olds making millions of dollars because they believe in themselves, because they weren't like in school and convinced that limited beliefs and limited fears that we'd have to go out and just work for somebody for the rest of their lives, that they couldn't create their dream, that they couldn't create something with somebody. There's people that are part of teams that are extremely successful. So whether this is for you inside your small business, whether for you helping out someone else's small business as a valuable team member, all these things are possible. All right. So today, man, I hope this was good for you today. I'm really passionate about this stuff, y'all, because I've seen it happen. I coach people to this breakthrough moment, and I know that it's possible, and I know that it's in you, but I also know that it's challenging. I know that some of the fears, some of the limit beliefs, and some of the stories that we told ourselves, we just repeated it so many times, and it feels like it's true. And it is true for you, but it's not necessarily the truth, right? For you, it's true because you keep telling yourself that story, but it's not necessarily the truth. And you could retell yourself a different story, and you could remake another truth. I remember I did this 50-mile challenge. I can lift weights, I could do HIIT cardio, I could do sprints, I could run hills, 110s. But you get me to run a mile, and I'm like, oh my God, a mile, 2 miles, 3 miles. So one of my best friends, Kettle June, he had a 50-mile challenge. So during a month, we had to run 50 miles. And I was like, bro, 50 miles? So I'm just like, all right, get outside your comfort zone. Like, what's the problem? What's the issue? So I'm mapping it out. All right, I need to hit this many miles per day, per week in order for me to stay on track. But in my mind, the story that I told myself was that if you don't work out past 12 p.m., like, your body won't work out. You can't do it. It's not impossible. And if you work out past 6 p.m., you're going to be up all night because of the endorphins, because of the sweat and everything else. You can't do it. So 12 o'clock, no go. After 6, definitely no go. So I've always convinced myself of these things. But guess what will happen? I wake up, I have the kids, I would get busy, and I wouldn't get my miles in. And I just saw like that number just staring at me. Like, you are now 4 miles behind, and you got 1 day left or for this week. And if you start off behind, like, it's almost impossible to catch up. So one night, 8 o'clock at night, I was like, man, let me run a mile, 3 miles, just convince myself. I ran those 4 miles. Not only did I run those 4 miles, not only it was like my best 4 miles, the breeze was good, it was outside, I got to think, my heart was full. I came in the house, took a shower, and I slept like a baby. So all those stories that I told myself, that was true up until that point, all changed when I made one decision. They all changed. And I think they could change for you as well. And I think this is a great opportunity, a great moment to help you change those things. So again, inside the 4-day Business Breakthrough Challenge, there is this workbook that I want you to get. I want you to put your hand up, and somehow we're gonna try to figure this out and get it to you. I know we got a lot of people on Facebook, some on LinkedIn. We're gonna try to get this workbook to you, and I want you to go along with us and do these things. So inside of it, we have the Champ Framework explained. I explained that. So I want to understand. We're going to talk about specifically for your business. What is your current vision? What business are you really in? Are you really in what business? McDonald's is not in the food business. They're in the real estate business. So what business are you really in? How's business? What are your sales? What are your marketing efforts? What are you currently doing? Are you on target or off target for your goals? Do you have goals? Do you have a strategic plan? Like, how is business? And then I want you to identify the gap between where you are, where you want to be. So you look at your current situation, and then we look at our desired destination, and then we figure out what is our 80-20, what things can we eliminate, how do we take massive action, and then how do we create that compelling vision? How do we create that pursuit of that championship transformation in our lives, inside of our business? That's what we're going to review tomorrow. And then tomorrow, after we review that, we're going to talk about how to build a successful business model. What does that look like? How to build your business foundation, how to put things in place for you so that you could be successful, so you can set yourself up for success. We're going to do that tomorrow. I'm a big believer in first things first. And so often I see people want to start marketing their business before they've done any of the work. And in my opinion, you're just going to market and tell people faster how bad you are at business. Does that make sense? If you have no business, no foundation, you got no structure, you got no systems in place, you got no measurement processes, but you want to market and gain this more business. And I talk to people all the time. It's like, I'm just so busy. Yeah, because you don't have any structure, right? You're so busy because you don't have any team. You're so busy because you're not organized. You don't have to be busy, right? Successful business owners, right? They're not busy, they're effective. So I want to tell you, right, never mistake activity with achievement. Our goal is to get achievement. Our goal as entrepreneurs, as business owners, our goal is to get everything done, not to do everything. That's a bar. I know, that's a bar. Our goal is to get everything done, not do everything. So we got to stop doing everything in our side of our business. We got to start putting together systems. We got to start putting together processes so we can get everything done, so we can manage that, so that we can be successful, so that we could grow. So So we're gonna talk a little bit about that tomorrow inside of the Business Breakthrough Challenge, 4-day challenge. I hope you had a great day today. I had a great day. I'm passionate. I'm sweating, right? I'm ready, but I'm excited. I'm gonna go over my notes for tomorrow. I'm gonna get ready for tomorrow. I'm gonna get ready to have a fantastic rest of my day. And I look forward to showing up tomorrow, same time, same place. Go inside the Business Breakthrough Challenge inside the group. There will be more resources inside of there and more trainings and things like that. If this was effective, if this was powerful for you, we got a lot more of this stuff inside the Facebook group, 4-day Business Breakthrough Challenge. So I want to see you inside of there. And then tomorrow we will see you again. We will touch base and we'll be talking about business foundation. We're going to define leadership. And we're gonna look at what are some scalable strategies. What are things that you can scale inside your small business, inside of your life, so that you can grow, right, without having to spend more time at work. The goal as an entrepreneur is to grow your revenue and spend less time. And I got a system on how you can help you to get that done. And we're gonna go over that tomorrow. All right. I appreciate y'all, man. Go out there, have a fantastic day, crush your day, win the day. And I'll see you at the same time here tomorrow. All right, take care.